one thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, he doesn't seem to be living until he bites you, and those black eyes roll over white, and then... Oh, then you...
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Markers and Monsters. As always, I'm your host Colin, and let's take a sun-splashed trip to the beach, because today we're talking about Jaws. Hope you brought your waders, and don't forget, stay out of the water when you see those fins coming. Jaws is a 1975 thriller film, one of Steven Spielberg's first movies, one of the ones that really shot him up to prominence and actually ushered in the whole summer blockbuster. Yeah, before movies like Star Wars were being released in the theaters every summer, and Marvel movies and everything else, summertime was really when movies just got dumped in the theaters because the studios didn't care about them. Nobody was going. But after Jaws, all that kind of changed. This was a big budget, really big film that sold a ton of tickets. A lot of people went to see, kind of ushered in the whole idea of that whole summer blockbuster, the must-see movies there. And it's a great one. I think a lot of horror fans have Jaws close to their hearts. While I wouldn't say it's a true horror film or even a monster movie per se, it's kind of in that weird nebulous horror adjacent territory. I don't know how to describe it any better than that, but because it is also a franchise with a cool video game for Nintendo and 3 sequels that get more exploitative and violent as they go on, this kind of has a nice place in a lot of horror fans' hearts, you know. I wanted to talk to you today about it because of the July 4th holiday, which is coming up, which takes place in the movie Jaws. So I thought great timing. And plus I want to keep these summertime vibes going, man. We got bright blue skies. We got beautiful ocean water, people swimming. And who could forget a giant freaking killer shark? As you can see, I drew the Jaws shark in here swimming after a hapless victim. Ooh, I don't think she knew what she was getting into when she got in the water that day. I'm inking in some of the victim, as we'll say, first, and we'll do a little bit on the shark as well before the colors, just because I feel like putting in a lot of the finer details like this means the colors aren't going to wash them away. It's just going to make it a little bit easier for my process to do some of the things in ink. But let's get back to talking about the movie. If you don't know the story, on Amity Island in New England, the new chief of police, Martin Brody, played wonderfully by Roy Scheider, is afraid of the water, which is weird for an island, but he's trying to do his best and keep everybody safe when he finds that a killer great white shark has shown up in the waters. Oh crap. They call in a shark expert played by Richard Dreyfuss. Wonderful. And a number of scenes ensue of people trying to, catch the shark, avoid the shark. Is the shark real? I'd like to talk a little bit about the mayor, too. This pompous jerk, this guy. He has a scientist telling him that there's a great white shark killing people. He's got the chief of police, that's out dealing with the people, telling him, sharks out there, we need to close the beaches. And this pompous jerk is only interested in keeping the beaches open for the 4th of July holiday to stimulate the economy. I mean, when people's lives are on the line, who cares? This guy ignores scientists, he ignores the first responders, the people on the front lines, and just does, what he thinks is going to make him the most amount of money. Terrible, terrible guy. And guess what happens? People, even though they know there's a shark, go to the beach, get eaten by him. Awful. I mean, everything about this is just a terrible situation. I think the good people of Amity Island need to rise up and throw this dirtbag mayor out, but terrible scenes there. If you like your gruesome killings, Jaws has a couple of great standout scenes for them. Some really terrifying scenes, too, of the shark under the water. Like I said, the cinematography here, the music, everything about this just adds to make this great kind of thrilling picture. The older I get, the more I also appreciate the quieter scenes that this movie has a lot of. The scenes where the 3 men at the end, Captain Quint, the shark hunter, and Richard Dreyfuss and Roy Scheider are all on the boat out to sea. Captain Quint tells a haunting tale about when he was in the military and his boat was sunken. Sharks came to attack all the men that were in the water. Even though it's just dialogue, it's absolutely terrifying and just wonderful performances. I mean, that's one thing that a lot of horror and thriller movies you don't get. These wonderful performances that can really cement the terror, really just through dialogue, make you feel the horror that people are going through, even when you're not seeing it. And again, one of the strengths to the movie. Now, I know that a lot of people say, oh, the shark looks so fake in Jaws. And yeah, I'd agree with that too, but who cares? I think it's a great looking prop and a great looking effect, and I love it. When I was a kid, we went to Universal Studios Florida with my family. They had a Jaws ride. Actually, I believe they still do. But when Jaws came out of the water and attacked the boat we were riding on, my mother screamed so loud. She was terrified. It's great times, good memory of seeing this fake robotic shark jump out of the water, splash, shoot water everywhere. Tons of fun. And yeah, it's so crazy too that this movie that's kind of a dramatic thriller went on to make such a big franchise. I definitely recommend checking out the first one, especially if you're looking something to do to celebrate the July 4th holiday, as we're all kind of cooped up inside still. It's a great time to watch Jaws, get those beach vibes going. But don't sleep on any of the sequels. We got Jaws 2, where Jaws becomes a slasher movie villain after a bunch of hapless teenagers that are stranded out in the water. We got Jaws 3D, where Jaws attacks Dennis Quaid at SeaWorld in, and I'm quoting here, air quoting, 3D. And then we got Jaws the Revenge. Oh yeah, Michael Caine and the mom from the first movie travel to the Caribbean to escape a shark. Yeah, they go to another island to escape a shark, and the shark follows them to get revenge on the family. Absolutely epic. You've also got Jaws 19, which came out in 2015. Even though it uses cutting-edge 3D special effects, that shark still looks fake. But still, great watch. If you can find it, definitely give it a go. And as I said before, don't sleep on that LJN game. I know a lot of people give it a lot of flack, but you know, I remember playing it at my buddy's house, and it was a ton of fun diving around, looking for shells, beating up squids, trying to finally get Jaws and ram them with the prow of your boat. Epic. I love it. As you can see, I'm just filling in here with the rest of the inks. I went with the fine line multi-liners here. I felt that was going to look a little better with the ocean waves and everything else than big, thick, dark lines. And I wanted to add some texture onto Jaws too, so give it little dots and dashes here and there just to help his skin pop out. I'm going to go in and kind of outline a little bit of the water and just put in those little waves. Subtle. A little goes a long way with stuff like that. We're really going to go in here with the white paint pen, add some more texture to Jaws' skin, especially up where the sun's shining down on his back. We're going to make that a little bit lighter. Let's add some sun rays. This is hard to do, keeping the angles just right, but I think the effect looked great. And then we're going to add a lot of the water. As our victim's splashing around, there's a lot of the foam and that white ocean water splashing everywhere. So adding in a lot of this, a lot of the white colors, I think really helps sell it quite a bit. So we're going to add in a lot of that. A couple of gulls out there hawking and squawking. And then, of course, go in with the blood. Man, you can't have Jaws without tons of blood all over his teeth coming out of his mouth. That's one angry man-eating shark. Let's take a look at the scan, you guys, and see what we got. Okay. Very, very cool. Again, I was really happy to do some water effects with this one. And actually drawing a shark was a ton of fun, more than I thought it would be. You know, like I said, guys, I hope everybody's staying safe out there. I hope you're all enjoying what you're doing. I hope this upcoming months and weeks, whatever we can do to stay safe, I hope we're all doing it. But when we finally can go back to the beaches, I think it's going to be a good time. When we finally can get out, I think we're all going to really enjoy it that much more. So that's it for me, you guys. Have an awesome weekend. Watch some Jaws movies and drop me a line or two. So until next time, here's to swimming with bow-legged women. Good night.
I used to hate the water.
I can't imagine why.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.